use, no? Or like the
Ah.
casual use of the word or of this particular structure,
Mhm.
analyzing how it's being used, or the context, and this can be leveraged to replicate the pattern,
Right.
no, in your
Precisely.
compositions. No? So
Precisely. That you described it perfectly. It's leveraging into your compositions. That what I like the way you said that.
I think it's very very useful.
So that's the thing, right? Do you take notes when you are having class, or do you just speak?
I not precisely not, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but quick notes at least, yes. So,
Quick
for
notes on what?
example, a quick notes,
Uh-huh.
some words, or for example, review this word, or como key points only. Uh,
Okay. I ask it to check if it's necessary or not. But at the end, everything that you catch with on your mind is going to be used. Like you don't need big notes. You just need to catch information. The thing that you catch automatically, you're gonna start using it. Something that is meaningful, something that can really help you, you start using it without noticing.
yeah, and I think I don't take notes for two reasons. That the first one is because uh, I'm not a multitasking uh, person, so I can pay attention, or I can either I can pay attention or taking notes.
Yes.
But
Okay.
but the two at the same time, it's not possible. At least not for me. So if I take notes, when I notice, uh, I got lost in
Aha.
the class.
Because
So
yes,
oops.
I have it has happened to my B2s because they don't remember how to spell something. They start focusing on the spelling of words, and by the time they figure out what's the spelling, we pass to a different topic. They got distracted and they are in a different channel. And yes, that's so true. That is so true. That's why writing is very effective too. But it requires a long time. Writing is very important, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, and I think that is something, an advantage of taking the course in an online way, in an online chat, because you can watch the repetition once the class is over.
Right. Totally
So
right.
you can take a screenshot, or remember, this is the point where the teacher said this, I don't know, this particular word, or mention these topics, etc. And yes, in that moment, in the calm of your house, taking note.
True. That is so true. Exactly. Yes, if you have the time, that will be ideal. That people start using that and repeating the video and doing their own notes, perfecting their notes. You know, oh, that will be ideal for me because we will guarantee results. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, and maybe, and many times when you are reviewing the class, that I don't know, maybe several days after, you notice uh, that maybe a particular topic you didn't understand. Uh, I don't know, maybe very well. So you can ask for doubts in the next class or something like this.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's an issue. It's an issue. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think that helps a lot.
Okay. Well, that's pretty nice to hear. Yes, I always like to talk to you because you give me that uh that calm, because I'm always very intensely stressed to see that my students are actually getting results. Like that they are actually that the course is working. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly on anxiety, checking if it's actually working, if I'm doing the things right, if the topics are being understood, that people actually are taking things from the course. So sometimes I have the sensation that it's like, oh Jesus Christ, they didn't learn anything, and it's because of me. I have the responsibility of this. So it's
Yeah, I mean,
so
maybe
frustrating
you are
sometimes.
thinking that you are achieving the goal, but you don't have the confirmation if this goal is the same one that the students were speaking for,
Exactly, or the same one that the
expecting
students
for.
found. You know,
Ah,
it has happened to me that today we see topic number one, no? Next week we see topic number two, but then when we are learning number two, students are just understanding topic number one, and I'm like, oh my god, we are in the next topic now. I need to slow down, or I need to do something. Something went really strangely, it is a constant experimentation here.
yes, and I think in our online environment this is more uh, difficult, no? Because when you are in a classroom, in a classical classroom,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's enough the face of your student to see, no, I need to slow.
To slow down. Well, kinda, to be honest. I have not felt the difference. You know? I mean, the only difference I can say was massive was the timing. Timing for comprehension, for conversation, for example. In this moment, when you speak, I stop 1 second or 2 seconds before. Yeah, no, I stop 1 or 2 seconds and I give you a space for you to talk because connections are slow. I speak and my message is going to get to your house later. So the timing has been a different sensation. But apart from that, really, it's very easy to see who is actually learning, who is not learning, who is having problems with the topic, who is understanding everything. It's so easy to 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 detect it when they speak. So in that case, I I haven't felt the difference. You know.
And maybe the COVID pandemic uh, helped, no, with this that to everyone
Mhm.
uh, get familiar, no, with the
Yes.
with the online
Finally.
alternative, and that's why I think it works, no?
Yes, it does. It really does. Yes, when everybody started having conversations online, I was having conversations online since 2002. No, like very long ago. And then finally, after after 20 years, I was like, oh yes, everybody's doing it. Thank you very much. Finally, is
Yes.
I am not the weirdo anymore. Everybody is using Zoom. That's amazing. Because I used to have my webcam when Messenger, when MSN Messenger was the Hotmail chat, you know?
Yeah, yes, I remember that
Mhm.
those times.
And I remember no friends had webcam. And and for me it was like, dude, I really like this, I want to have. So I chatted. I remember I had a friend And I practiced my English this way, you know, when I was 15 years old, probably 17 years old, my computer, which was massive, I had it in the studio, my dad's studio, and he would be sitting in his desk, and there was a family desk with a computer. But I was always in the morning, 7 o'clock, probably 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and Sunday, and I was chatting with a girl in Sweden. Her name was Amanda Johnson, and I met her online. I met her on a website called Tagged that doesn't exist anymore. It was a community chat where there was people from all around the world, and they were having like different rooms so you could access them. If you had a connection with somebody, or if you like the conversation with somebody, you could you could speak privately and then pass the messenger and pass the hotmail, because WhatsApp didn't exist. So then from this website we pass to messenger and we activate the webcam, and it was crazy. For me it was 7 o'clock in the morning. For her it was 8 in the night, 9 in the night, something like that. So it was, we were speaking English because she was practicing English and I was practicing English, because none of us spoke English. We spoke our corresponding languages. And I learned to speak fast very, very well in a couple of months, because I was forcing myself to use my language. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, you was
You were.
getting adapted, no, to the speed. Sorry.
Aha, because I never spoke before. It was just writing. So when I was getting online with her and with the camera, it was so difficult to communicate, but it was interesting. There we were,
Yes,
trying,
and
trying, trying.
it's a natural requirement to keep a natural conversation.
So that was it. And today now cameras, webcams are so normal. They don't call it webcam anymore. They call it camera.
Yes,
Normally.
yes, yeah. It's a it's a common device. No?
Exactly, common device. So yes, today is so normal. So that's why I'm. That's it. I think that's one of the positive things, or the only positive thing that COVID brought us. You know,
I know, and I really appreciate that the online classes and the remote uh,
work.
work. Yes,
Exactly, brother. I
I don't
agree
like
with
to
you.
be in the traffic or
No,
fighting with people in the streets, or
exactly.
I really hate that. So
Especially when you know the work can be done at home. Like you can finish it in your house. Like there's no problem. I don't need to be there.
yes, and I work every day in a computer and only interacting with me.
Exactly.
So I arrived to my job, and I on my computer and began working, but without speaking with anyone. So come on, I can do this in my house.
Exactly. Exactly. I arrived to the office and there's nobody to speak to. It's like, come on. What's the point? You know?
Yes.
That's all right. So right. So yeah, we are talking like Victor and Sophie right after you. So technically we are talking about the how you have been learning. In the case of, for example, Sophie and Chucho, we spoke about this last week, but I didn't have the opportunity to speak with Louis and with Victor. So I want to know precisely your honest opinion. Has it worked? Has Do you think it has actually helped you? Do you think you need something else? What do you think in the case of Victor, for example? What would you say about all the information that we have seen? Has it worked? Do you think it's working?
Yes, yes. In my case, I think that sometimes I need to practice more, and in my case, I think that listening another people is a good way to learn more
Okay.
because
Yes.
the way that they use each word and the vocabulary that someone use that helped me a lot.
Right. So you are saying what we were saying. It's you hear something and that you like and then you copy it for yourself.
Yes, yes, a lot.
That's a good idea. That's precisely the thing. It's the only way to increase your vocabulary. There's no other way. And have you started listening to English movies with English subtitles now?
Yes, sometimes I like to see some videos or, for example, some interviews with in English but with subtitles.
Okay, okay. Hmm.
Yes,
Well, we gotta remove the subtitles at all. I mean, in the Spanish, you
yes.
know,
Okay, okay. Yes,
we need to change them to English. Change it
yes,
because it's like uh, the let's say that the language is learned. Of course, we are very busy people, right? So if I insist you on sit down and study, that's gonna be impossible. Do you agree with me?
yes. Of course, that's not
Right?
possible.
Exactly. So whenever you have free time and you have the time to relax and sit in front of your television, that is an opportunity to distract yourself from the world and focus on your listening. That can actually help. And that's how I learned. At the beginning, it was, well, let's say I had my certificate, but I needed more vocabulary. So the only way was listening to American people or watching television because I don't have American friends or whatever, you know. So that's the only way. It's the more English you can listen to, the better. And then you can copy some things, and then you can extract some things, and then you can be interested in some topics and copy, 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 copy. That's the cool part of this.
Yes.
Very good. Just a minute because Jessie is in the chat. She's gonna say hello. Hello, Jessie.
Hello, good
Hi.
morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I will take attendance. Is here Sophie? Hi, Sophie. Good morning, Sophie. Thank you. And Roberto.
Hi, Izzy. Good morning.
Hi, Roberto. Good morning. Thank you. And Victor.
Hi, Jesse. Good morning.
Hi, Victor.
That's right.
Good morning. So, good morning, everyone. Somebody else?
That's it, girl.
No. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the important thing. It's copy, copy, copy. Um, so yeah, let's talk about that. I have told you that many, 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 many times. It's about getting to know each other, getting to know the listening, getting to know the language from the perspective you want to see. And I really want to check, I really want you to see some podcast. How often do you listen to podcasts, by the way? Never, right?
I listen a lot of podcasts, but honestly in Spanish because I have a very very favorite one. But
Mm-hmm.
I have not. found one in English.
Or you haven't found one. That's the issue. I want to show you one of my favorites, but of course it's gonna be impossible to tell you, hey, listen to this, because you will only listen things that you are interested about. So I want to show you the ones that I listen to, and the reason I listen to. Okay. So as you can see, some of these are English, some of these are Spanish, right? I can start talking, for example, about this one over here. When I was 18 years old, I discovered these guys. The Weekly Planet is a couple of friends who speak about movies, comics, and TV shows. So they give their opinion, and they analyze the backstage stories about some movies, and plus that, they are so funny. When I listen to them, I crack. I love to hear them because they make me so happy, and they have a very good they speak very well. So let's say, for example, you hear this one about Shazam.
Kale, one of the most influential movie critics of all time, and in the late 1970s, she had a very brief tenure working as a consultant for Paramount, a position she accepted at the behest of actor Warren Beatty. So apparently they had, there was some situation happen there, and I don't know the specifics of it, but presumably at the end, one of them will cave the other one's head in.
Absolutely,
this will be an alternate look at history.
Pauline Kael and Warren Beatty will team up to, I don't know, fight Nazis or
each other.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
you think it'll be a...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting that his final movie is another love letter to Hollywood when his last one was a love letter to Hollywood. I guess he did 2 Westerns in a row.
Yeah,
and
he's just
and there's
loving...
pop.
Those are the guys. Oh, I love them so much. He's so inspiring to me because he was a teacher and then he became an influencer, at the end. So it's so interesting. These guys are talking. Did you hear that they were talking about Paramount and things like that? They were talking about studios and movies and actors and directors and producers, and they have this conversation, and I really like it. On the other hand, we have something more social, which is these two. Call Her Daddy over here is one of the most popular podcasts in the United States about this girl. And this particular girl has a very interesting way to talk. But she's talking about friendships, dating, relationships, things like that. So cool. The way the vision that she has on relationships is very interesting. So she talks about, let's say, she gives a neutral perspective. She doesn't speak about gender, about women and men. No. She speaks about people, and she speaks about people in general. So I really like the way she talks. And it's super no family speech. This is adult content, totally. Okay? This is not for listening, not safe for work. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about? So this one is like that. On the other hand, we have these guys, Jesus Christ. They don't stop laughing. They are always having fun. It's so crazy the way they speak. It's always constantly laughing, constantly speaking, constantly having fun.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Views. This episode is going to be fun-filled. So we're going to have Jason sit this one out. So
I'm going to go, guys, for your enjoyment, so you can enjoy it more. I'll be gone.
A lot of the comments are saying we want to see the full white couch.
What do you mean?
They want to see it completely empty.
Oh.
They're like, we're loving the vibe. We'd love to see all the furniture without anybody actually sitting there. So, no, I'm kidding. All right, let's roll the episode.
So yes, 3 seconds inside, and they're already laughing, just like that. I love them so much, and they are some YouTubers that I followed since a long time ago. So it's so interesting to see their stories after that. Or if you want something more educational, talking about the news, talking about things that have happened recently, then the one is Today Explained. So they speak. This is from Vox, the same. I have showed you videos from Vox, remember? So it's exactly the same one that I hear on YouTube, but these guys are the podcasters talking about issues that have happened recently, and they give you context of what is going on. And they speak, for example, in this case about Fox News. They talk about Adderall, which is medicine for mental health, and they update this every single month. So this is more educational, more about the news, more explainful.
Adderall shortage update. I just had to leave work because I was so overstimulated. Couldn't tune out anything. I couldn't pay attention to anything. My anxiety is destroying me right now.
Last October, the FDA sent out a press release titled FDA Announces Shortage of Adderall, in which the FDA announced a shortage of Adderall, a medication that tens of millions of Americans use mainly to treat ADHD. This led...
So yeah, if you want to talk about mental health, if you want to talk about news, this is the one you should be listening to. There's so much content. It's impossible to say, hey, I don't know what to listen for. Man, there's crazy amount of things to listen, you know? Here's some things about technology, this one over here is technology, and yeah, that's the one. So what about you guys? What do you listen to in your free time? Do you listen to the radio? Do you do anything like this?
I listen many interviews.
Many what?
No, many interviews or
Interviews.
about people that I am interested in.
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah, and included podcasts, sometimes TED talks. For example, there is a teacher that I love her, and I listen a lot of interviews with her. A lot. It's my favorite, I think.
That's in English.
Not sure. No,
That's the
because
one.
she's Spanish, but I need to find
You need
in
to
English.
explore.
I learn. I've heard many interviews with Matty Haley, the vocalist of the 1975, and well, that those are in English. And I really try to understand what he's saying because he's British, and it was difficult. But I am really interested about the way his mind works. You know, so I really try to understand. And
exactly.
Actually, I think that I achieved the goal. At least I understand the main idea or the main thing that he said, but I would like to understand everything. So I am going to search more content in English.
You need to because
Yeah.
it's I mean, look at how often you listen to things in Spanish, and that is precisely sometimes expanding yourself to another language doesn't only help you with vocabulary and grammar, also helps you see the world from the perspective that you have never heard of. Because sometimes we feel our reality on the limitations of our culture. So of course, listening to a Spanish speaker from Mexico that lives in the same reality as us Well, of course, we are going to love it because it's our comfort zone. They see things the same way we do, and we agree with everything that they say. So it's like, okay, this is my comfort zone. This is, I agree with you. This is easy to understand. Let's stay there. What happens if an American person talks about the same topic? Then that will be like, okay, learning is going to begin. And not only for, well, of course, vocabulary and grammar, but also from perspective, opinions, views, the way some it has happened to me that some of the opinions that I have, I hear it from another person, and then they approach it in a very different way, and they give me the vision that I have never expected. And that's because I am trying to expand myself from culture to culture. Now, my opinion is small compared to all the things that there are to see. And it's so ambitiously interesting. You can learn a lot. So, expanding yourself and breaking the barrier of culture expands your vision 1,000 ways. 1,000 ways.
No, I remember what I also listen sometimes meditation in English because I really think that there is in English there are more content about that
Much
and
more.
much more and better the things the
Exactly.
way they uh, take you where it's very different and I really connect more with English meditation. Yeah, I forgot that, but yeah.
Anyway, the same topics that you see in Spanish, you can see it in English. The same. You know, because if you separate them, like the difference, I like this in Spanish, but I like this in English. I like this in Spanish, but I like this in English. Your mind keeps separating them. You need to join them. So you should like use the same topics that you see in English, watch it in Spanish and vice versa. You know, yeah. Like the idea is to merge both cultures in your mind. Very well. You know, do you, Victor, for example, do you listen to the radio or do you have moments where you hear podcasts or something like that?
Sometimes, for example, I like horror stories.
Okay.
Yes, but I listen a channel in YouTube or podcast, but it's in Spanish.
Interesting. Very good. Dude, I promise you that, like, all the stories that you hear in Spanish are copied from an English person.
Yes.
They have it 1st. What's the latest story that you have heard?
For example, I don't remember the word, but it's about a woman that cries in the night. But I remember that a specific word to say that in English.
The Weeping Woman?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And another one, something about a cemetery, a person that works on a cemetery, and that one night when he was working, a group of persons entered to the cemetery with the permission of the owner, no? Or the administration of the cemetery, and they started to do like a rito.
Oh my god! A rite.
A rite, yes, exactly.
You had a yes. You had a Lopez Origa moment.
And then that person said that this group of person moves a lot and fire uh, a body of a person that rests on the cemetery.
Oh my god.
And in that
That's right.
moment, that person wake up like
Yeah.
he or she. I think that it was he were
Mhm.
alive again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
That's
that
crazy.
was crazy. I don't know. It's some stories like that.
You should listen to this. I want to remember a person who talks about this in English, but I would need to search. I don't really know who. But these kind of stories are very nice. Lately, there has been a very, I don't know if you, because I hear that you like these kind of creepy stories about death and probably religious stuff, right?
Yes.
But what about, I don't know if you're gonna find it interesting. Let me check it. There was a, recently, they have been making a very story, a very interesting story where the Backrooms movie, where they're supposed, over here, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. So this is an independent movie, right? And the idea here is that you are normally in your house making dinner, then accidentally you drop what's the name of the thing you use to cook? What's the name? Your spatula, right? So you're cooking, you have your spatula, you drop it to the floor, and then it disappears. The spatula is not there, and you never hear the spatula dropping. So you try to find it, you try to see where it is, and then when you nail down to go for the spatula and search it, you fall into a hole that takes you to another dimension. And this other dimension is a strange little place called the backrooms, where you have to walk over one room and after another and another, trying to escape from the levels. And then one level takes you to another level and takes you to another level, and it feels like you will never coming back home. Even you were home. You were home 20 seconds ago, but now you cannot go back. You need to watch this.
That sounds cool.
If you like it, check it. Okay. I thought it was English. Now that I'm seeing this in Spanish, but the concept of backrooms appeared in the United States. This is not from here. You need to watch this. So yeah, that's my recommendation to you.
Right. Sounds good, teacher.
Check it out. And in the case of Luis,
Uh, what else is when the class is over? My free time.
like what? How do you spend? How do you? Where do you get English from after the class? Apart from the class.
Okay, okay. In my case, I especially like assist History Channel.
And you watch it in Spanish.
Um, no, in English with subtitles.
Okay, okay, that's gonna be your mission. Now watch those programs with English subtitles.
In some parts of the uh, yes, of the document of the stream, I even when the subtitles are active, I try
To hear.
to pay attention and to capture the message without uh, without assisting the subtitles.
Good.
And if I think that I understood correctly, I continue. Well,
Cool.
in the opposite, if this didn't happen, I what is the correct verb? I back the stream or back in the stream or I
You go back. You go back.
okay. I go back, so I repeat maybe a few moments before, and I read. Okay, that's what
That's a
he said.
very good methodology. That's a very good methodology. But even though it can be better if you can put it in English subtitles, you know? Probably, if you're watching that, where do you watch that? On YouTube? Or where?
YouTube, yes.
So they don't have the Spanish, English subtitles, right?
Yes, yes, they have not every documentary on YouTube.
Exactly.
History Channel, but many of them have.
Yes. Okay, if they have English subtitles, then use them. Use them at your favor. You know? I have always used that, and I still learn from that type of content.
What I was planning is to, but I didn't have done this yet. Is first assist the documentary without subtitles. Try to comprehend everything, but without stopping the video. And once that the video is finished, is over, repeat the video but with subtitles and confirm if I understood correctly or if there are new words or everything.
Okay. That
That's
makes
my
sense.
next plan. I have not done this yet.
Okay. Do it. Do it definitely. That's the way you have to do it. That's good. Okay, I always have this conversation with you because I want to know where I can attack from. Because sometimes, yes, the class is very useful, but we spend very little time, especially when we are a little bit late in the class. We don't really have time to practice the way I would like. So then we should take the few things that we see in class and try to apply it somewhere else as a leverage for our comprehension. So all the topics that you see here, you can hear them also when you are working on something else, listening to podcasts and filling your life with English. Because the reason we are stuck and the reason we feel sometimes that it's like infinite, no, the process, is because we are not really spending so much time listening to English. So we need to immerse ourselves in the language as much as we can. Okay? Let's keep it over there, guys. So good job. This is the video I want to show you. That's the next video we are going to see. Its name is so interesting, you know? So, dying in the name of vaccine freedom, which means these people are having so much problems because they don't like to get vaccinated, but they feel free to be sick. It's like being sick is my freedom, is my election, and let me be. And they start interviewing them. It's so frustrating, but it's so interesting to see them. let's watch this video tomorrow, okay? Right now, we finished.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Have a good
Thank you,
day.
everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye-bye.